Welcome to the deep dive. We take that pile of sources you've got and, well, we boil it down to just the essentials. No fluff.
That's the goal.
And today, we're diving into something pretty fascinating. It tackles a big challenge. How do you learn complex technical skills, like coding, in maybe unexpected ways?
Yeah, forget the usual textbooks or dry tutorials.
We're talking about learning to code by farming.
It sounds a little out there, right?
Yeah.
Programming education usually makes you think of, I don't know, terminals and syntax errors,
Not irrigation ditches.
exactly, not harvesting cycles or getting virtual dirt on your keyboard. But we've got this article detailing a really innovative game called The Farmer Was Replaced.
Okay, so that's our mission for you today. We're going to
Sure.
unpack this intersection of simulation gaming and actual coding education.
We want to get into how this farming game actually teaches you to code.
Right. Who is it really for? And maybe most importantly, what is it about its mechanics, its specific approach, that might make it a better learning tool than just another standard tutorial?
Yeah, we're digging into the teaching method here, the pedagogy. We'll give you the context on what the game is trying to, basically shifting coding from abstract ideas to, something you see happening right away.
Okay, let's get into the game itself then. The Farmer Was Replaced. It's by a developer named Timon Herzog. And the core idea, it grabs you immediately. It is a farming sim, sure, but the main challenge isn't the usual farming grind. It's about successfully removing yourself from the work, automating it.
Which is a pretty clever twist, actually. Most farming games, they celebrate that hands-on effort, right? Getting things done yourself.
Yeah, Stardew Valley, Story of Seasons.
But here, your success is measured by how good your automation is. The main task is literally writing code to get a drone to do all the repetitive farming stuff.
So you're essentially coding yourself out of the picture, which honestly, a lot of real-world programmers might say that's the dream, right?
Huh. Maybe. It's about efficiency.
You don't want to be clicking to plant seeds or water crops. You want your drone running your code to do it perfectly efficiently all by itself.
And that immediate feedback is so crucial for you, the learner. Coding can feel, intimidating at first. Often it's just text changing on a screen.
Right, abstract.
But here, the result of your code is, like, physical in the game world. It's immediate. If your loop breaks, the drone doesn't water the plants or crashes.
You see the consequence right away.
Exactly. That tangible link between your instructions and what happens, it makes it way more approachable. It kind of strips away that initial fear factor.
Okay, but let's clarify something the source mentioned. The coding language in the game, it's not exactly Python, right? It's described as being similar enough. Does the article shed light on why they did that? Why not just use pure Python?
It does touch on that. While similar enough is a bit vague, the focus is clearly on teaching the core concepts of programming.
Like loops, conditions.
Exactly. Nested loops, if-then statements, thinking about efficiency. By using a Python-like language, but maybe simplified, the game avoids some real-world complexities.
Like setting up development environments or managing external libraries, things that can really trip up a total beginner.
Precisely. It avoids that initial setup headache. It keeps you focused on the logic. Think of it as a dedicated training ground for programming thinking, just disguised as a farm.
So the real value isn't becoming a Python expert overnight, but mastering the logic that applies everywhere, using a system that makes it easier to eventually transition to languages like Python later.
You got it. It's logic first, syntax second.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, you mentioned it's not just isolated puzzles. A lot of coding tutors are like that, right?
Right.
Solve puzzle A, move to puzzle B.
Yeah, the traditional model.
The source says this game has continuous progression. What makes that different? Why is that continuous environment potentially better?
That's a really key point in the design. Most coding games, they break tasks down. Solve level 1's problem, great. Now forget that code and start fresh on level 2.
Right.
This game, according to the article, keeps things going. It's one continuous farm, one continuous system you're building, and that forces you, the player, to deal with something real developers face constantly.
Which is?
Managing legacy code and dealing with scale.
Oh, interesting. So if your farm gets bigger or you add new tech, your old simple code might suddenly not be good enough, or it might even break.
Exactly. You're not just solving isolated puzzles. You're building and maintaining an automated system. That first script you wrote for watering a tiny 4x4 plot, it might become horribly inefficient or just plain wrong when you suddenly have a massive 40x40 field and multiple drones needing coordination.
So it creates technical debt, basically.
Pretty much. The continuous world forces you to revisit your old solutions, to refactor, debug, and optimize them as the demands increase. It's much closer to real-world software development.
So it sounds like it's teaching systems thinking, not just how to write a for loop.
That's a great way to put it.
And I like that the source mentions this dual appeal. It's clearly stated as beginner-friendly at the start.
Low barrier to entry.
But that focus on scaling and optimization means that later on, even experienced coders could find real challenges in designing those complex automation routines.
Definitely. They're not just practicing basics. They're designing potentially complex algorithms for resource management and efficiency at scale. The game grows with you.
So what's the core gameplay loop look like then? How do you progress?
It's pretty classic simulation game stuff, but powered by code. You gather resources using your automated drones, of course.
Right.
Those resources let you unlock better tech. Maybe faster drones, new tools, bigger plots of land, different sensors.
And then you use that new tech to write even more sophisticated code.
Exactly. All driving towards that ultimate goal the game sets. Become the most efficient farmer in the world. Efficiency is basically the score, the currency of success.
That sounds compelling. Now for you, the listener, thinking about maybe checking this out, timing is important. The game's in early access right now, yeah.
That's right, it's been available but not finalized.
So what's the plan? When is the full launch happening, and what big changes or new features are coming with it?
Okay, the developers have given a date. The official full launch is set for October 10th.
October 10th. Okay.
And yeah, the full release isn't just a formality. It's bringing some pretty significant upgrades.
Yeah.
Things that really double down on that core idea of exponential automation.
Oh. Like what are the big ticket items?
Well, first off, and this really amps up the complexity, the full release will support multiple drones.
Oh, okay. So not just one drone doing everything.
Right. Suddenly, it's not just about writing commands. It's about orchestration, managing a whole fleet, maybe specializing them.
Yeah.
That requires much more complex code, thinking about synchronization, avoiding collisions.
High-level integration stuff.
Exactly. And alongside that, they're promising a reworked tech tree. The description says it's designed for more exponential progression.
Meaning faster ramp-up.
Sounds like it. The difficulty, the capabilities, the rewards, they'll likely scale up much more quickly, really pushing players, especially experienced ones, to optimize their automation algorithms aggressively.
Makes sense. Keep the challenge going. What about, like, goals or achievements?
Yep, for players who like tracking their progress and mastery, the source confirms over 50 achievements will be in the full release, encouraging you to explore every nook and cranny of farm automation.
50 achievements. Okay, that's quite a few. Anything else planned for the launch? Quality of life stuff?
Yeah, some important polish is coming too. They're mentioning a complete sound overhaul and a brand new music track, which, for immersion in a game where you might be spending hours coding and debugging.
Sound design matters, yeah.
Definitely. And critically, for accessibility, they're also planning full support for 11 languages, making it a much more global tool for learning to code.
11 languages, wow. Okay, so putting this all together, the farmer was replaced. It sounds like it's much more than just a quirky indie game.
So.
It's presenting a really unique model for learning a complex, very practical skill programming by making the whole process extremely goal-oriented, demanding even. Automation and efficiency aren't just features, they're the only way to succeed.
And if you look at the bigger picture, it's a really strong example of how gamification, using game mechanics for learning, is evolving.
How so?
Well, it's moving past simple quizzes or point-scoring tutorials. This is about creating an immersive, continuous world where coding isn't just an academic exercise you perform. It's the essential tool you need to master the environment and achieve your goals within it.
The coding is the gameplay, essentially.
In large part, yes.
Okay, that leads us perfectly into our final thought for you to chew on based on this deep dive. We've seen how programming, applied through this game, can effectively replace the farmer, automating repetitive tasks while teaching complex concepts in an engaging way. So if coding can take over farming chores this effectively in a learning context, what other core skill, something maybe traditionally seen as difficult or frankly tedious to learn, maybe complex financial modeling or advanced statistics or even something like legal research, what's next on the list to be taught using this kind of immersive, automation-focused game approach?
It's an interesting question. Where else can automation be the teacher?
Huh?
We hope this look at the article gave you a clear, efficient overview of this really innovative approach to coding education.
Definitely food for thought. Until next time, keep learning, maybe keep automating, and keep diving deep into the knowledge you need.